I'm Mirabelle Spring, 35 years old. I live with my husband, whom I met and married at the company, and our 5-year-old son. After giving birth to my son, I quit my job at the company and became an independent software engineer. Today, after dropping my son off at daycare, I returned home, thinking about today's tasks and schedule as I turned the key in the door. As I opened the door, there was my husband, ready to leave with his suitcase. I couldn't help but frown and ask him, "What are you doing?" "Huh? I'm going on a business trip." "I didn't hear anything about this." "Where to?" "Singapore." "What? Abroad?" "Ah, stop nagging. I have a plane to catch, I'm leaving now." His forceful words made me say in a low voice, "You'll regret this." Saying this, I thought to myself that it'd be his last trip. "Huh? I'm saying you'll regret this and I won't care." "Huh? Why are you getting mad over a business trip?" "Scary, I might never come back." With those words, he left in a hurry. Although he said it was a business trip, I knew it was actually a trip for an affair. How did things come to this? Left alone in the house, I began to reflect on the past and think about the future. It all started when my husband missed a promotion. I couldn't make it this year either. The promotion didn't happen. Well, you've worked hard. You've achieved results in various aspects of your job. Let's try again next year. Half a year ago, my husband missed his chance for a promotion within the company. It wasn't just this year, this has been ongoing for several years, and my 40-year-old husband remained a regular employee while his peers and juniors were getting promoted. My husband, always the optimist, would say he'd try harder even after missing a pay raise. But this year, things were different. "You've got it easy," he said out of the blue. "What?" "You quit your job and went solo. You don't have to deal with being nagged by superiors or getting snide remarks from younger bosses and colleagues." "Well, yeah, I guess that's true, but maybe I should go solo too." "What?" "If I go solo, I won't have to deal with this crap every year." "No, going solo has its own set of challenges, you know?" "What? Is that some kind of dig at me?" "What?" "You're saying someone like me couldn't cut it if I went solo." His yelling took me by surprise. I wasn't trying to one-up him, our fields are just too different. He's in sales, I'm in a technical role. Being in a technical role, you could say I'm more suited to going solo. Still, I had my share of struggles with sales and networking when I first started on my own, something he should be well aware of. His changed demeanor left me speechless. "Forget it." "What?" "Everything just feels like a drag." "What do you mean?" "I mean everything. Work, family, it's all just a drag." His words hit me hard. "I'm going to bed." He left for the bedroom after saying just that. The next day, he apologized, saying sorry for last night, but things started to change from there. "I'm going out for drinks tonight, so don't wait up for dinner." "Okay. What time will you be back?" Not sure, so just go to sleep." "Okay, got it." He'd come back home in the wee hours. His suit and laundered dress shirts carrying the faint scent of women's perfume. "I'll be on a business trip to North Carolina for about 3 days starting tomorrow." You've never had to stay overnight for work before, have you?" "Huh? You used to say how lucky you were that your work was close by, so no overnight trips were necessary." "My superintendency changed, okay? Stop nagging me about it." And with that, his business trips really did become more frequent. What used to be once a month turned into twice a month, and recently it seems like he's away on business every week. Sure, business trips aren't unusual for someone in sales. But at his company, my former workplace, it's not common for one person to be on the road this much. Something's definitely off. Concerned about the lingering perfume scent, I decided to meet up with Kelly, a close friend and colleague from the same company, for dinner after work to talk. "Sorry for calling you out all of a sudden." No worries, is Mike doing okay? Yeah, he's staying at my parents' house tonight. Anna, my younger sister, is there too, spoiling him rotten. Ah. I have a sister 5 years my junior who's still single and living at home. Of course, my parents adore their grandchild, but Anna is especially doting, and having seen Anna and Mike together before, Kelly couldn't help but laugh. So, what's up? Is work not keeping you busy these days? Eh? Your husband's work has settled down, right? So work's quiet right now, huh? Eh? What's with that meaningful remark? Hey, did my husband really switch to a position in charge with so many business trips? Eh? He's not home again today because of a trip. Mirabelle, he's not on a business trip today. Really? Yeah. He went to the office like normal today. I see. It's almost certain then. My husband is probably meeting another woman under the guise of business trips. Seeing my expression harden, Kelly quickly tried to reassure me. But his position did change recently, and he does have overnight business trips now. There are also occasional day trips. It's just that his previous position didn't require much travel, so it seems unusual, but it's actually normal now, normal. I see. Still, unable to hide my troubled look, Kelly sighed and started to explain. Actually, the change in his position was quite sudden. Eh? You know about him not getting the raise, right, Mirabelle? Yeah. Right after that, he suddenly asked to change his position. Eh? I'm in the department next door, so I don't know all the details, but from what I saw, it seemed like he forced the change. Really? Yeah. He used to request positions with as little travel as possible, right? But this time, he suddenly asked for a position with more and longer trips, swapping with a newcomer. He asked for that? Yeah. The manager was surprised too. Well, the newcomer was struggling with that sales area. A veteran like him is better suited for it, but... What? There was a hesitant look on Kelly's face, as if she was struggling to say something. Just say it. I'll listen to anything. Okay, I'll tell you. There's another person in charge of that position, someone named Erwin, and I have a feeling something suspicious is going on. Suspicious? Why would he specifically ask to share the same position with that person? It feels like they're in some kind of relationship that can't be talked about. Why? At this point, I might as well say it, but when you can't see either of them during work, they've been seen coming out of the storage room together, or they leave for external appointments together in the morning and don't return until the evening. After work, there are quite a few people who've seen them together late at night at bars and pubs near the office. So, she's the one leaving the scent on his suits and dress shirts? What? When my husband comes home late, his suit and dress shirts smell like women's perfume. I pulled out a handkerchief from my husband's suit pocket that still carried the scent and showed it to Kelly. Yeah, this smells like Erwin. That famous Chanel. I see. So, it's pretty much confirmed then. Unfortunately, yes. So he says he's on a business trip, but he's actually going to see a woman. Today, for instance, he left in our car saying he was going on a business trip. What? In the personal car? Using the personal car for business trips is pretty much unheard of. I realized the car keys were missing and was shocked when I saw the car gone from the parking lot at our apartment building. Kelly offered a suggestion with a wry smile. Mirabelle, want to go see for ourselves? What? I know where Erwin lives. Let's go check if he's really there with her. True, we won't know unless we see it for ourselves. If it's true, our car should be parked nearby. Then let's go now. I just happened to drive to work today. I'll give you a ride home afterward. Kelly and I quickly settled our dinner bill and drove to the woman named Erwin's house. Then, we saw two people heading towards a mansion from a nearby coin parking. What's this? Good timing or bad timing? This is bad. Look! Don't just stand there. I'll take pictures, and you start recording, Mirabelle. Okay. My hands trembled, caught between sadness and excitement, thinking this would serve as evidence. After the two disappeared inside, Kelly squeezed my hand tightly. It's okay, I'm here for you. Kelly. Mirabelle, can you make time next Wednesday and Thursday? What? Those two are supposedly going on a business trip to Florida, probably enjoying their time together, with work as an excuse. Let's follow them. All right. We've come this far, there's no turning back now. Mike seems to have noticed something's off with us, too. Really? Yeah. When he sees me looking sad, he pats my head, saying good girl, or he'll hug me tightly, saying, Mom, let's hug with Moo. And he even scolded his dad, telling him to be nice to Mom. I know Mike gets hurt by the cold look in his dad's eyes too. That bad, huh? All right. I'm all in to help. If it helps, our colleagues will stand by you too. What? Just because you've left the company doesn't mean we don't care about you anymore. Having allies inside the company can make things easier, right? A mischievous smile on Kelly's face sparked something in me. Let's do this thoroughly. We'll knock him down hard. Haha. I haven't seen that angry face of yours in a while. So his spending habits have finally turned towards another woman, huh? That's the worst. What? He has a spending problem? Yeah. Just so you know, he had to go through debt restructuring and can't even get a credit card. What? Even the lease for our apartment and the credit card we have, it's a family card under my name. Seriously? Mirabelle, you don't have to put up with such a guy anymore. We'll really help you. Then, let's have a strategy meeting at my place. What? You're driving me home, right? I might have some useful info at my place, and Kelly, you're staying over tonight. Sir. Understood, Captain. We drove back to my place with Kelly at the wheel. Holding a glass of whiskey in each hand, we spent the whole night planning our strategy. And now, about a month later, half a day after my husband left for Singapore, late at night, my phone started ringing. The caller ID was as expected. A smirk formed on my lips as I cleared my throat and tapped the screen. Hey! Why can't I use the credit card? His yelling was loud enough to hear even with the phone away from my ear. He seemed really angry. What? What happened? I was trying to make a payment here, and the credit card isn't working. You did something, didn't you? Huh? Which card was that again? Huh? Don't play dumb. The family card you gave me. The one from some department store or something. Oh, that one. Yeah, I canceled it. What? Canceled? Why? Because it wasn't being used. What? I was using it for the family card. Oh, right. Like for high-end name necklaces, bags, wallets? Suddenly, there were these large charges, and the credit card company called me. What? The credit card company called? Yeah, this card that hadn't seen much action suddenly started getting used a lot these past few months, with repeated purchases at luxury shops. The credit card company suspected something was up, asking if it was being fraudulently used. Really? Since I didn't recall making those purchases, I thought maybe it was. So, I had the credit card company investigate. And then, your discarded receipts and the ones stuffed in your suit pockets matched up perfectly with the stores and amounts. Oh, it turns out my husband was using it. Though, it was obvious from the family card usage who was using it. He listened in silence. I continued. So, I asked to have it canceled. No need for it anymore, thanks. But I'm using it. More like, you're using it for someone else, right? What? Are you using women's jewelry and bags for yourself? Did you have that kind of hobby? I don't know who you're spending it on or why, but the credit card's in my name. The bills come to me. So, I canceled it. Any complaints? How am I supposed to manage here? Eating out, all kinds of expenses, even on business trips. Oh, don't worry. You don't need to make excuses for business trips. What? Enjoy your last date to the fullest. What? Oh, and your phone will soon stop working too. What? Figure it out with a SIM card or whatever over there. Bye now. After hanging up unilaterally, I blocked my husband's contact. I wonder how many days it will take for him to reach out. As I pondered this, I gazed at the mountain of boxes in front of me. Actually, right after my husband left for his business trip today, I was moving out. I had heard from Kelly about their long vacation together, and after some digging, I discovered they were indeed planning an overseas trip. Really going abroad together? Yeah. He bought 2 tickets to Singapore with a family card I gave him. The dates matched their vacation perfectly. Plus, there was a hidden Singapore guidebook, confirmed. What? Using his wife's card for everything? Yeah, he's quite the fool. That's why I decided to move out while he's gone. What? The house and the car are in my name, after all. What? The car too? Yeah. Even the phone. So I figured I'd settle everything while they're on their trip. Everything? I found this in my husband's suit pocket the other day. What I showed Kelly was a completed divorce form filled out by my husband. Who puts this in a suit pocket normally? It just shows how careless and carried away he is. If that's his intention, I have every right to act on mine, right? Of course. So I'm going to settle it all at once. Flipping through the divorce form, I remembered the day I felt my blood boil and then go cold. Packing and moving in half a day was tough, but thankfully, I managed to finish unpacking Mike's room by today. Tomorrow is Saturday, and Anna will come over to help with unpacking and organizing. She's also agreed to watch Mike for me. I'll finish up everything while they're gone. Thinking about this, I eventually fell asleep and was busy all day the next day, both inside and outside the house. Finally, as the night calmed down, my phone started ringing again. The screen showed an unknown number. Without hesitation, I tapped the screen. That was quicker than I thought. What? It was my husband on the line. I thought it would take you longer. You managed to get a SIM? Don't mock me. I can handle that much. But canceling the phone plan, what were you thinking? What? That's my line. Pretending to be on a business trip and going on a vacation to Singapore with your lover, what were you thinking? I told you. It was a business trip. Still making excuses at this point? I know everything. What? I know you took leave to match her schedule and are now enjoying Singapore with your mistress. How did you? Your planning was sloppy, that's how. What? I had Kelly from your company check the leave and business trip schedules, and the airline tickets bought with my family card were easy to track. Buying a Singapore guidebook and hiding it at home, and then lying about a business trip to go on a vacation with your mistress, really? That is. By the way, I also know about the nights you spent at her place, pretending to be on business trips. What? Erwin, who joined the company after I left, living in Brooklyn, right? Why? How? Remember, I used to work at your company? Not just Kelly, but other colleagues, juniors, and seniors have been feeding me information. Like how you got your sales area changed to be with her, or how you two would disappear together, not returning from sales rounds, seen coming out of the storage room together, spotted at bars near the company. What? And yes, Kelly knew her address. We saw you two entering her apartment together. What? Left our car in a nearby parking lot and walked to the apartment all lovey-dovey, didn't you? Got plenty of photos and videos as proof. So, you and Ms. Erwin are confirmed. What? What are you doing? Gathering evidence of your affair. I have proof of you lying about business trips to sneak into another woman's home. What? When? When did you realize? I've known for quite some time. I could smell women's perfume on your suits and dress shirts when you came home late or returned from business trips. Sometimes even on your underwear. What? Well, you're probably used to the scent, so you didn't notice, but for someone without immunity, it was quite noticeable. That handkerchief smelling of perfume? Kelly confirmed it smelled just like Ms. Irwin's perfume. Really? That much? Seems like even people at the office were making assumptions based on that perfume scent. What? After you two came back from the storage room, people noticed the lingering scent of that particular perfume on you. They said the scent was strong enough to suggest you two were quite close. Seriously? Leaving hints and being seen, at your age, huh? The lovebirds might not realize it, but a lot of people were thinking things, you know? My barrage of information sharing left my husband speechless. No wonder. He probably never dreamed I knew this much. That's why he could go on his merry trip abroad. But there's more to it than that. And you know, Mike seemed to have noticed too. What? What? Mike did. When you were home, you let Mike play games on your smartphone, right? Yeah. Well, when messages from that woman came in, Mike was reading them. What? Mike can't read, can he? Really, what? How old do you think Mike is? He's 5 now. He can read and write for all he needs. What? Mike noticed something was off between us. He didn't tell me, but when we left him at my parents', he told Anna, Daddy says he loves Irwin. I couldn't believe Mike would do that. The day I left Mike with my sister Anna and met with Kelly, Mike had shared a shocking revelation with Anna. Anna? What? You tired yet? No. I gotta tell you something. Daddy and Mommy don't seem close anymore. Really? Yeah. And Daddy, he says he loves someone named Irwin. What? Irwin, as in the name? When I was playing games on Dad's phone, I saw lots of messages from someone named Irwin. Like what? Stuff like I had fun the other day, can't wait to see you again, I love you, and more. Really? Yeah, it kept happening. Even when Mom was crying, Dad just kept getting angry. Mom was crying? Yeah, she was crying yesterday too. Anna, I don't like seeing Mom cry. I hate Dad for saying I love you to this Irwin person. It was a shock. I never imagined Mike would say something like this, feel this way. That's why I have to leave my husband. I can't let Mike be hurt by my betrayal husband any longer. As a mother, that's what I thought. To be hated by your own son. What are you doing? That's my business. I want to enjoy my life. Well then, let's do that. What? As per your wish, I've already submitted the divorce papers. What? What do you mean? The filled-out divorce form you left in your suit pocket. I've filled out my part too and submitted it to the office today. What? What? After a loud scream from the phone, endless shouts followed. I should be thanked, but why am I being yelled at? I switched to speaker. If you don't calm down, I'm hanging up. That quieted him down. Well, my ex-husband now, what a hassle. You submitted it. So it's been accepted? Yes. I submitted it first thing this morning. For over half a day now, we've been nothing more than strangers to each other. What? You intended it, right? Keeping a filled-out divorce form in your suit. Though not noticing it's gone is the height of stupidity. Shut up! So, I filed for divorce just like you wanted, so you can be with your beloved Ms. Irwin. I cancelled the cards and the phone plan for that reason, so you should be grateful I made your wish come true. What? Grateful for what? What are you doing acting on your own? Acting on my own? The person who's been doing whatever he wants this whole time has no right to talk. My parents. Your parents won't allow it. What? Your family is all proper and stuff. They'll never allow their eldest daughter to get divorced. Of course, they'll allow it. What? My parents adore me. If they knew their beloved daughter was being cheated on and played by her husband, they'd tell me to come back home right away. You're lying? Ah, and by the way, I've already informed your parents too. What? I had to send your stuff somewhere, you know. I called them yesterday and made sure they understood everything. My stuff? What stuff? What? Your belongings at the house. I've sent them all to your parents' house. What? Why? Because I moved out. What? We're divorced. I can't live in the same house as you anymore. That means I had to move out, right? What? You could have at least left my stuff there. What? That house is under my name. Why should I let you stay there when the person who signed the contract is leaving? Especially when you haven't paid a cent towards rent. That's... So, I don't see why I should be getting any complaints from you. Even if you come back from there, you can't enter the house anymore. The keys won't work. Go back to your parents' house. My ex-husband mumbled something in response. I couldn't make out his words clearly. Annoyed, I threatened to hang up again, and he blurted out. I can't return. To the US. What? I don't have a plane ticket. I can't return. Came a feeble voice from the other side of the phone. Oh yeah, it looks like you only bought a one-way ticket. I thought it'd be bad if a large payment was discovered. Well, if you were worried about that, you shouldn't have bought the ticket in the first place. Not to mention, luxury brands too. So, I don't have a ticket to return. You could use cash or a debit card, right? I don't have enough money left to buy a ticket. That's embarrassing. Your spending habit hasn't improved. What about her? Can't she cover it for you? After I said this, my husband fell silent. After a prolonged silence, he muttered something difficult to say. She went back. What? She bought a ticket for herself and went back. Are you joking? Seriously? I burst into laughter. It seems my ex-husband was dumped by the woman. I have no idea what transpired between them to lead to this outcome, but it was an admirable story. So, Ms. Irwin dumped you? What? Because she went back alone, leaving you behind. Was it a no money, no love situation? That is. He seemed to hit the mark. A woman who demands designer items and overseas trips from a man. No money means the end of the relationship. For her, still in her 20s, moving on to another man would be the wise choice. Who would have thought your departure words would become reality? There's something about spoken words, huh? What? I said, you'll regret this. And you said, I might never come back, right? I said it before, but... With no money, no tickets, and having lost both family and a lover, why not just settle down over there? Huh? No way. I'm definitely coming back. Somehow. But you might even lose your job, right? Is there a point in coming back? What do you mean? I submitted the evidence to the company. What evidence? The evidence of your affair. Huh? You can't just ignore an affair that exploited various company resources for trips, external meetings, and inside the company itself, right? It's quite something. I went all the way to your business trip location just to gather evidence of you and her. Huh? I've got all the evidence on video and photos, so I think it'll be very useful. You're crazy, aren't you? Huh? The crazy one is you, abandoning your family for your own desires. You've got some nerve. I'm sorry. I don't need a half-hearted apology now. Anyway, you and that woman will take full responsibility. Full responsibility? There are various responsibilities you need to take, both towards us and the company, socially and financially. Oh, and I'll be formally requesting the amount you charged on the card through a lawyer. Huh? Don't complain to me. It's retribution for what you've done. Well, first of all, do your best to make it back home. I said everything I wanted to say. There's nothing more to talk about. I'll let the lawyers handle the rest thoroughly. Since then, I found out through reports from Kelly that my ex-husband had returned home. After that, a lot has happened, and today, we're having a relaxing lunch at my house, celebrating with a sort of consolation party on a weekend afternoon. Can you believe he stormed into the company, yelling at the manager? I did nothing wrong. It was all Mirabelle Spring's doing, trying to put all the blame on Mirabelle? Kelly said in disbelief. Well, he must have been furious. Even his lifeline, his parents, wouldn't transfer the money for a ticket back home. Can't help it. His parents knew how unreliable their son was and had all their trust in you, who supported the family all along. Betraying you was just reaping what you sowed. Even when I called about the divorce, his parents apologized to me. On the contrary, a grown man should be able to survive on his own for 3 weeks. 3 weeks later, when my ex-husband somehow managed to return, everything had changed. The evidence Kelly and I submitted to the company was enough to stir things up, and the woman who had returned early was seen crying and talking to the management as soon as she received an email from the company. If she's going to cry about it, she shouldn't have done it in the first place. So, will you be able to get alimony? Can't wiggle out of it. Thanks to a sharp lawyer, things are moving smoothly. That's great. As expected from my boyfriend. Yes, thank you very much. And what about your ex-husband? He's staying at his parents' house after quitting his job, they called me. Really great parents. How could such parents have a son like that? I wonder that too. Then, they said, we'll make sure Mirabelle and Mike won't suffer for alimony and child support. We'll keep an eye on it. Really grateful for that. Well, that's all thanks to our sharp lawyer, who's been dealing well with your parents. Ahaha. I'll pass that on. Joking aside, Kelly and the lawyer, now a couple, have helped me more than I could ever ask for. I've received help from Mike, Anna, and of course, my parents at home, and we must continue to support each other moving forward. I wonder if there's something I can do to thank you. At my offhand remark, Kelly gave me a sly smile. Hey, let's go on a trip. A trip? Yeah, a trip. Aside from thanking us, it'll be a good change of scenery. Including a treat for your family too. Yeah, that sounds good. I do have some money that I'm not sure how to spend. Best to give back to everyone with it. Yeah, exactly. So, why not go on a trip with your family for starters? How about theme parks? Or even overseas would be nice. What's that? Are you teasing me? No. I mean, it's good to do something bold. Now that all the unnecessary people are gone. Well, yeah. But what about you, Kelly? You see, we'll take out for some delicious food again, along with our colleagues. They all want to see Mirabelle with her smile back. Wow, I'm gonna cry. What? Am I not loved too much? Ahaha. Just realizing it now? You are dearly loved by everyone. So, losing 1 or 2 men won't stop you, right? And I gently clinked my glass against Kelly's raised one. The love I've received from everyone, I'll spend a lifetime giving it back. Starting with something fun for all of us. Thinking of everyone's faces, I slowly lifted my glass to my lips.